During this past week, I have been reflecting upon the reality of what it means to be a Christian and how it's meant to be properly expressed. And because of that reflection, I apologize, but I will depart a little bit from the theme of the scriptures today to focus on something that I feel needs to be said. And as we all know, unless we have lived in a deep, dark hole on the moon for the last 6 months, there was an election this past Tuesday. And since earlier this week I was working on a research paper for one of my classes for my canon law degree, I was away from most social media and news networks earlier in this week. When I came back to the office late Wednesday night and Thursday, I was confronted with just how much hatred, anger, and violence is being expressed as a result of the election. And I am not talking about just from the losing side. And after a little while of catching up, I had to remove myself from that situation because I was literally aboard. I mean, it hurt my heart to see that, to see the extreme vileness that was being spewed, and the way in which the media just seemed to flock towards it. And so, my reflection, what does it mean to be a Christian? And so how does a Christian respond to all of this hatred, this anger, this vileness, this disunity that is seemingly even undermining our very country? Well, with a simple and profound 4-letter word: love. Because it is very easy to see ourselves either justified or attacked as a result of the election. However, both of these sentiments isolate us from the unity that Christ calls us to. And when we respond in love in the face of all of that, it bridges that isolation and heals wounds. Because believe you me, Satan enjoys seeing disunity and hatred in our country. He loves to see the vileness and violence being displayed. However, he cannot in any way stand to see or experience love. Because love is an expression of God's love, and therefore he is present. Satan always must flee in the face of love. And my homily today is in no way a political appeal, but a human appeal. It is an appeal to each and every one of us to love in the face of hatred. And believe you me, that is not an easy thing to do in any way. Because when someone attacks us or our beliefs, it would seem like the natural thing to do is to defend ourselves with equal force or to run away from it. But there is actually a third and better way. Hard to believe, but sometimes the best thing to do is simply to allow someone to express themselves and respond with "I love you." And that doesn't mean that we are in any way agreeing to the bad things that people may do in the world. It just means that we're responding to them in the same way that Christ responds to us in the midst of our sin. To love people as they are and where they are. We must appeal to the heart, not to the emotion. And that is how we create unity. And so I truly urge y'all, especially over the next several weeks, to be instruments of God's love and peace in our country. To strive to not become judgmental or angry toward those who may riot. To not feel the need to become defensive if someone gets angry with you for how you voted. To not allow pride to dictate the words that pass our lips, but to allow authentic humility to protect us from speaking words that can hurt. And most of all, to forgive those who may lash out at us. And as I was praying with the words of St. Francis, his great prayer that often we sing comes to mind. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. And so, let us each heed the call of Christ today to love and to promote unity. And so bridge the culture of anger and hatred by becoming Christ's instruments of love and peace in our world.